and welcome to Get Comfy with Laura, the podcast where we dive into getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. I'm your host, Laura Cardona, the Buena Vida life coach, emotional wizard, personal cheerleader, healing homie, breakthrough queen, and your support in shaping a Buena Vida. If you're ready for more than just listening, I've got all kinds of juicy goodies over at my website, buenavida.life, or come say hi on all the socials at Buena Vida Life Coach. All right, y'all, let's go get comfy with the uncomfy.
Get comfy with the uncomfy. Don't hide it. I feel it. El camino es crecer. I rise again. Get comfy with the uncomfy. That's where I find me.
I want to take you back to a moment that had people heated. Do you remember when Bad Bunny performed at the Grammys and they used the subtitles speaking non-English instead of, actually translating the Spanish? People flipped out. And of course, rightfully so, because it was dismissive. Like, what, we don't deserve a translation? And look, y'all, there was a lot of argument around that time. For me, what was underneath that is, it's not that they couldn't do it, it's that they didn't care enough to do it. It was overlooked. And that says a lot, right? Now, fast forward to Benito Bowl, global stage, fully in Spanish, spoken, sung, correct subtitles, zero apologies. And it was so powerful, right? That contrast between the Grammys speaking non-English to a full-on 100% spoken Spanish Super Bowl performance with correct subtitles. That's what we're getting into today. And I'm not just talking about subtitles, because to me, that wasn't just about subtitles. It's about whose voice gets honored and whose gets minimized. And for me, this is deeply personal because growing up, I was corrected a lot. I grew up in a Black and brown community, so I had a lot of different ways of talking and I heard a lot of different phrases and so many different ways of expressing ourselves, right? So obviously I picked up on all that and I carried that with me. And yet, at whatever corner I turned, someone was always saying that I was, quote unquote, not saying things the right way, right? For mixing English and Spanish, or for only knowing how to say something in Spanish, right? There was always this quiet message, this like undertone. And let me pause real quick. It wasn't always that quiet, but we'll move past that. That the way that I expressed myself wasn't proper. That the way that I expressed myself wasn't professional. That the way that I expressed myself didn't belong in whatever space I was in. And over time, that builds something. For me, it built shame. It built a hesitation. It built a second guessing. It built a little voice that says, say it the right way or callada. Don't say anything. But when I look back, what shaped me, what carried me, what gave me the force to move through life were the sayings, were the way that I expressed myself. The ones that my mom would drop mid-conversation, or when she was yelling at me, or when she was yelling on the phone, or when she was yelling at my brother, or whatever, right? Like the phrases I heard, or, the one that she and her friends would say, or around the hood. The phrases I heard from other parents, right? The funny ass things that I would hear moving through all of our Black and brown beautiful communities that I grew up in. That was the real education. But that language, that flavor, that rhythm, those sayings, they weren't allowed in school. They weren't allowed in essays. They weren't allowed in research papers. They weren't allowed at work. And if they slipped out, you'd get that look. And I know you know the one. Or worse, they actually pull you into a little mini interrogation, right? What does that mean? Wait, do your parents speak English? And now suddenly you're not just speaking, you're defending your existence. Nah. No. We're not doing that anymore. Today, we are leaning all the way into the Benitable energy, bro. We are reclaiming our voices, we're healing that shame, and we're honoring the sayings that we carry. In English, in Spanish, in Spanglish, in whatever blend feels good to you. Because what we say matters, how we say it matters, and the sayings that we carry, that's culture, that's history, that's identity. So this episode is something really special to me. I've made a compilation of some of the beautiful human beings we've had on the show this season, sharing one of their sayings that they carry with them. And let me tell you, it's so beautiful. It's wisdom, it's humor, it's protection, it's love. So y'all, let's celebrate it. Let's hold it with pride. Let's stop correcting ourselves out of our own culture. And let's get comfy with the sayings that we carry. All right, first up, we have the lovely Janice Hillard, who joined us on episode 2, Get Comfy with Boundaries. Go check it out. Janice brought a classic. Don't start no mess, won't be no mess. That's such a good one. It's not just catchy. I mean, it is catchy as hell. And it's also a declaration, right? I know myself, I love myself, I have limits, and I stand on them. It's so playful, and it's completely rooted in self-respect. Let's get into it. I wanted to talk about the cultural saying, don't start no mess, won't be no mess. I wanted to talk about that. Tell me about what this cultural saying means to you. What is it? Where does it come from?
I love that. You hear that in song. I mean, I grew up in the 90s, like grew up in the 90s, like, teenager-ish, young adult in the 90s. I always heard that, and I've heard it in different songs. But I love that because it's very, it's pertaining to boundaries, but then also pertains to me, of course. Don't start something you can't finish. I have limits. I have boundaries. So don't start with me, and I won't start with you. I know my limits, and I will tell you my limits because I love myself, and I'll always stick up for myself. So don't start mess with me, because if you do, I'll let you know. So I love that. It's always been a saying for me. It's always something that I love, and it makes me giggle too. But yeah, don't start no mess, won't be no mess. I always love that.
That's where it's at. Yeah, it's I've heard it in, don't start and it won't be nothing.
Right.
And I remember hearing that in it's in the Black Lady sketch show on HBO. And
Yes.
when she said it, I was like, I haven't heard that since I was a kid. I haven't heard that in such a long time. And I was like,
Yes.
right. And then now you hear it all the time, but it was just
All the
amazing.
time.
Don't start and it won't be nothing. That's it. Like, that's it. Love her. Thank you so much, Janice. Next up, we have Rita Soledad Fernandez Paulino from episode 6, Get Comfy with Money and Self-Care. Go check it out. When I asked Rita about her cultural sayings, she shared something really honest, that some of the phrases she grew up with didn't feel good. But what I love is how she shifted that for herself, right? She now leans into poco a poco, todo con tiempo, which translates to little by little, everything in its time. Simple, grounding, and it's a reminder to slow down and regulate in the moment. Let's get into it. Any cultural sayings that you say to yourself all the time that you grew up hearing and now you still say it?
The ones I grew up hearing were not good. The ones I heard growing up was like, para de llorar, ponte a trabajar, solamente una lágrima. Now I think what I say to myself is, poco a poco, todo con tiempo. But I don't know if I heard anyone say that to me. I think I just said that to myself, and my kids say it to themselves. But I also like this phrase, si hay un loco, que no hay dos. And that helps me self-regulate, especially when things are just like bad. I just, and I feel rakati-takati, and I just tell myself, like, you know what, si hay un loco, que no hay dos. And that helps me, like, always take a deep breath before reacting.
Can you translate it for our sisters who don't speak Spanish?
Yeah, it means that if there's one crazy person, don't let there be two. And poco a poco, todo con tiempo is like, little by little in all divine time.
Yeah, love it. Beautiful. Thank you, Rita. Go listen to our podcast. Next up, we have Erika Barrera from episode 11, Get Comfy with Saying What I Say Matters. And her saying is short, sweet, dale gas, which means pump the gas, right? She shares how it came from her dad. And what I love is how it's evolved for her and how it's tied to something really, really meaningful, which is her relationship with her parents. Let's get into it. So the last thing, the cultural saying, dale gas.
I know when you asked me, I was like, do I have anything? And like literally the first thing that came to mind was just dale gas. I always do like my dad voice, and people are always like, oh my God, your dad voice. They're like, "Erika, and they're like, where's dale gas? And I'm like, okay, dad. But yes, so he says that, and even like we'll be like at Disney World in the past or like anywhere at the mall, like walking around wherever, pues dale gas, and I'll be like, okay, and it's normally like kind of annoying because I'm like, I'm walking or I am doing it. But it's funny because like now being an adult, I'm kind of like, yeah, like lante kind of stuff. I like so it's like kind of funnier because it has like this lighthearted kind of like dad voice in the back of your mind. And he is like, I love him so much. He is my biggest cheerleader. We had a lot things in the past that we've healed through. And that's also more I wanted to like help other people with in their journeys with their parents and all that stuff. But I'm just so happy to be in the place now as a 34-year-old woman having a connection with my parents finally that like I missed out on a lot as like a teen and a young adult because I did not know who I was. I didn't love myself, right? And so in return, the world was my enemy, including my parents. And the fact that my Mexican parents have loved me and embraced me every step of the way. Like we did not always have the best time, obviously, but the fact that we're still together as a strong family unit. And I've told them so much recently over the past year, like how much I love them and how much I'm so grateful for them for like keeping me in their lives and not letting me go to the side, not letting me waste away, and like always being there no matter what is so, I know that's something that a lot of people can't say. And for me, it means so much to me because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here, in so many different ways. And so if they watch this, hi, I love you. And yeah, I'm so grateful. So yeah.
We love you too, Padres. We love you too. What are your parents' names? What are their names?
Elvira, as she likes to be called Vida. And then Severo, but he likes to be called Chevy. So it's funny because his name literally translates to severe barrier. Severo Barrera. Yeah. Severe barrier.
Amazing. So amazing. Cheve and Vida, thank you so much for giving us beautiful Erika Barreras. The Barreras. The Barrera family, we love you. So good. You see how it's always more than just a phrase? It's about connection. It's about meaning. It's beautiful stuff. Thank you so much, Erika, for sharing. All right. Next up, we have Karina Melgar from episode 9. Get comfy with showing up for community. Her saying is, nadie nace sabiendo, which translates to nobody's born knowing. And it's very useful, especially in those moments when something feels really hard, frustrating, or new. Let's get into it. The last thing is the cultural saying, the nadie nace sabiendo. Can you talk to me a little about that?
That's what I would hear all the time. It was, from being a child, like, oh, I don't know how to do that. And, that was the response that I would get from my parents. What would they say? Pues, ¿qué crees? Que yo nací sabiendo? Nadie sabe lo que, yeah. And so that always stuck with me. And when something gets hard, that is the one phrase that I will say to myself. Well, you gotta remember, nadie nace sabiendo. And that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, they think the master, what is it? The master at once was a beginner, right? Yeah, cultural sayings. I asked that because it's so, you talk so much about culture and how important it is for you, right? And so to me, that is the sayings that we say to ourselves. We don't even realize, oh man, I sound like my mother, just like, wow, they don't believe us.
It's like so ingrained in us that, yeah, I mean, I see that now.
Nobody is born knowing. It's a reminder you don't have to get it right the first time. You don't have to already know. And what I love is how these sayings just live in us, right? One day you catch yourself saying it and you're like, oh my gosh, I sound like my parents. I sound like my mother. I sound like my father. And instead of pushing that away, we get to hold it because that's the beauty of the sayings that we carry. Thank you, Karina. Thank you. Thank you. This next one also brings us back to our parents. We have the lovely Carla Garcia from episode 3, Get Comfy with Mind-Body Connection. And her saying is one so many of us know, échale ganas, which kind of means like get into it. She shares how it comes from her parents, something that they say to encourage her and to remind her to go for it, to give it her all. And I love the way she holds it, not as pressure, but as love. Let's get into it. The very last thing that I want to talk for these last few minutes that I have you is the cultural saying, the échale ganas.
Yes.
Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so that one, and I can even hear them saying it now in my head as we're talking about it, right? Comes from my experience with my parents. And I think, that's something that we often hear. And it's a sense of empowerment. I know that it comes from a place of love, and they want me to succeed and have everything that I've dreamed of. And it's words of encouragement that I get from my parents, and I value so, so much. And I carry with me in my heart, and everything that I do is for them. So it is a special phrase, and I will forever, take that with me everywhere I go.
Échale ganas, yeah. And then what does that mean for those our friends who don't speak Spanish?
Échale ganas means give it your all, basically, right? Like go for it, right? Do the thing. And so that is something that I carry with me, right? Not feeling limited, but going for whatever I want to obtain in life, because we all deserve to make our dreams come true. So it's very special to my heart to hear it from them, and keeps me motivated every single day.
Échale ganas, mija. And I love the way you wrote it because you said échale ganas, mija, which is just that mija is such a special, beautiful little sauce that goes on top of it. I have so many, but it's the one that's similar to that to me is ponte pilas, like the electric, like be a battery, It's like, it doesn't make sense in English. It doesn't, but it's so good, right? It's so good. Like ponte pilas, like you want me to be a battery? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know, it's so
Yes.
funny, but
Échale
somehow
ganas.
it makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So beautiful. Let us remind ourselves that we are supported and capable. Thank you, Carla. And to close us out, we have Maria Alejandra Guterres from episode 4, Get Comfy with the Mind-Home Connection. She brings in something a lot of us were taught growing up, unfortunately. Calladita se ve más bonita, which translates to, if you're quiet, you look prettier. Stay quiet, stay small, don't say too much, don't take up space. She shares a shift, choosing to speak even when it's uncomfortable. And that I get behind. Let's get into it. There's that one very last thing, and then I'll let you go. The cultural saying, hazlo con miedo, say it even when your voice shakes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I really carry those phrases deep in my heart, because hazlo con miedo, which means do it with fear, because being able to do things even when you're afraid is one of the biggest ways that one, you can grow, but then also be and stay true to yourself. And so I carry that with me, and I remind myself, kind of like doing these podcasts or these interviews, I get anxious and I'm afraid to do it because it's out of our comfort zone and it's an unknown, but you do them because you want to make sure that you grow as a person and, you stay true to yourself. And the other one, which was I think it's like speak up even if...
And say it even when your voice shakes.
Yes, say it even when your voice shakes. And that's another one that I constantly remind myself, because as growing up in my culture, a lot of the times we're told, calladita se ve más bonita, or we're told, not to say certain things. And because I grew up that way, it also played a role in how I heavily neglected myself and who I was. And I, never expressed what I needed. I kind of, had to figure things out by myself. I didn't ask for help. And so now, even though it's still something that's so foreign to me and very uncomfortable for me, I make sure that the way that I honor myself and, my needs is to say things even if I am nervous and my voice shakes.
I love it so much. Thank you for sharing. And truly, I get the goosebumps. I feel emotional about it because it's so true. We're taught just calladita, 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 and we're stay in the back of this, in the back and
Yeah.
go unnoticed because we have to stay unnoticed because we're immigrants and we don't
Yes.
belong here. Take up all the space. Say it. Do it. Live it. I love it so much. Oh, that one lands. For so many of us, using our voice wasn't encouraged. It wasn't. It's something that we either had to learn, are learning, or will have to learn. So this is your reminder, and mine. Let's take up the space. Let's use our sayings. They mean more than we know. They carry our culture, our history, our people. And no one, I mean no one, gets to tell you how to speak or how to express yourself. Getting comfy with our sayings looks like this. Saying it how it comes, wherever you're at, honoring where it came from, and trusting that your voice, exactly as it is, belongs. They're how we were taught to move through the world. They're how our people passed down wisdom, protection, preservation, humor, and love. And yes, some of them we have to outgrow, and let's not be cute. Some of them we definitely have to outgrow and move past. Some of them we have to reshape. And some of them, thankfully, we get to choose how to carry them forward on our terms. But none of them are meaningless. None of them. They're part of how we speak, part of how we express, part of who we are. So let them live in your voice. Let them sound like home. Let them be yours fully, unapologetically. Because what you say matters, and how you say it, that matters too. Okay, my friends, may we all get comfy with the sayings we carry. And may we pass that comfort on. Until next time. Bye.
Get comfy with the uncomfy. That's where the magic begins.
Thank you for tuning in and spending some time with me today. And we all know the podcast spiel. If you liked what you heard, please make sure to subscribe, follow, rate, drop a little love in the reviews. It really does help, and it helps spread the word. And hey, if you know someone who needs this, any of this, in their ears right now, please share the episode with them. And if you're ready for more than just listening, ready to shift, to stretch, to step into your own buena vida, then let's do this, yeah? From one-to-one personalized coaching to group coaching, fun workshops, and all kinds of other little goodies, all the info is waiting for you over at my website, www.buenavida.life, or connect with me on the gram at Buena Vida Life Coach.
I'm getting comfy in the uncomfy. Dancing with the night until it holds me. Breath by breath, I let it flow. Even in the dark, my light will show.
You made it to the end, and here is the very last message. You can hold the hard. You can hold the discomfort. You can hold all that and still reach for joy and still reach for good. You can be scared and still keep going. You can get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And when you don't feel like you can, come find me. Until next time, friends, keep going, keep growing, show the world who you are, and never, ever stop betting on you. Thank you for listening to Get Comfy with Laura. This episode is brought to you by me, Laura Cardona. Producer, me. Researcher, me. Audio engineer, me. Editor, me. Social media, me. Expert, me. Giving myself credit where credit is due. For more, head over to buenavida.life. Bye!